What's up? Good afternoon, good morning, good night. Happy time zones to all. I was not ready. I was, but then I wasn't. But what's up, everyone? Xanis here. For all of my new people popping into stream today, I am a Nightmare Angel VTuber. Name is Xanis Hellfire. For all my reasons, what the fuck up is stars? Um, I literally only woke up fully like a couple hours ago. That could be why I'm not fully all the way here, but it's okay. Um, Today's stream is going to consist of just, going through everyone's New Year's resolutions. Um, and oh my god, how early did you wake up? I need to know, how early did you wake up? Because we're gonna have to hold that. Oh shit. Okay, no, that is early. That is early. Not even I woke up that early. Well, stars, I hope you all did your homework. I know I did. I know I did. We got our New Year's resolutions all ready to go. Again, since I know that I'm still a small content creator at the end of the day, um, I told everyone to make at least more than one. Honestly, during the stream, if you ever want to add one, by all means, go ahead. I got a lot of points that I want to I got a lot of points that I actually want to go over in this stream. Again, I also do want to go over my rules for this year. Um, so right now we do have some activity in chat, not a lot. Um, but just to make sure that I'm not putting anyone on blast too early, I'll go with mine first. Um, I have a few things that I'm taking pride in this year. Yes, it's going to get a little personal. Yes, some IRL is going to pop out, not a lot. Um, Here's one thing, and this is a major one, but not too major. I I will not allow anyone to walk all over me this year. Last year consisted a lot of people taking my kindness for granted. And I didn't like that because I had an issue with how certain people took that kindness and ran with it. And when they did that, I'm like, okay, so, like, do you expect me to literally just sit here and take that shit from you? And I'm way too nice to actually, like, be like, hey, could you like not do that, because I'm afraid of the repercussions afterwards. So a lot of last year consisted of me making decisions thinking I'm helping people, which don't get me wrong, I did help people. But then it ended up taking a toll on me, and I'm like, this is kind of an issue. So I regretted a lot of decisions that I've made last year. Um, so to reduce that, I'm like, okay, I am no longer going to let anyone, like, respectfully, of course, because I don't want to be rude about it. I'm just setting boundaries, is all. So when it comes to a lot of things, I'm going to be like, hey, listen, I'm not asking for a response from you. If you give one, thank you. But if not, I mean, if you give me a response respectfully, it's just going to make me feel like, I have to answer your response now. And a lot of people, when they give me responses to me setting a boundary, it's 9 times out of 10 always defensive. So, in order to avoid that, I am just like, hey, let me speak. I'm not like I'm enforcing my boundaries, and like I'm sticking true to my word. So when I say something to somebody, like, I'm sorry if it makes you feel some way. I don't want it to make you feel some type of way. It's just this year I'm putting myself more first, like, than anyone. So yeah, that's a that's a big one of mine. Um, it's something that I'm gonna stick with, and I'm very like very serious to stick with. Again, I got no disrespect to anyone, and I don't want to be rude to anybody. Like when it's just when I say something this time, I'm not trying to hear the "oh, you got to put your foot down" or some shit like that. I'm gonna be like, well, I do put my foot down, but at the same time, I'm like way too considerate, and that's the issue. Because people take that consideration and perceive it as something different, and then it turns into a situation that it's not supposed to be. So I'm just, I'm just gonna keep it how it is and be like, hey, listen, X, Y, and Z. If you don't like it, fine. If you like it, fine. Just this is my boundary and I'm enforcing it, and that's it. So yeah, all right. I don't know if any of you guys have enough bits to highlight messages, but during the stream, I'm gonna be utilizing that. If you have your resolution, just so like in case you actually comment on anything that I say, you can highlight it. If not, just let me know when you've sent it in there, since we can't do like $1 highlights to um, messages and shit like that. I'm gonna see if I can actually get chat in here. I don't have any spot to do so, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. Alrighty, give me 1 second. Okay, I gotta let me see if I can grab it. In the meantime, while we're doing that, not what I need. Anyone want to do one next while I'm pulling up chat? Because I actually have chat on another screen, so I'm good right now. Alright, good. Again, we got plenty of time. I plan to make this one, like, I plan for us to go on, like, New Year's resolutions for, like, a good hour. And then the next hour will be us, just enforcing all the new rules and whatnot. And if you're comfortable, I can also read it out as well. Let me see, because I also gotta fucking do that. this bigger. So at the moment, I'm kind of just putting a fucking I'm putting a PowerPoint to the side. Alrighty. Now, do you want me to straight up read this in? Do you want me to straight up read this in like as it is, word from word? All right. Alrighty. So my New Year's resolution is to get the hell out of my mother's house. I have a job, but I stayed last year because I was guilt tripped into helping her with my siblings. I'm being treated like crap, and I can't even see my boyfriend. Hell yeah! I like that one. I like that one, and I felt that. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, I like that, and I really hope that that goes well for you. Because that's. Oh. I've definitely been there. I feel like that was like a New Year's resolution for me like 2 years ago, I think. Because I had the same problem happen. I'm like, I wanted to see my partner, but every single fucking time I tried, it turned into, hey, like, he said, she said bullshit, and then it turned into us not, like, being around, like, not, us not being with each other. So I literally have saved in my photos calls that lasted 48 hours, 72 hours, 76 hours with them, and it's just like, it's fucking crazy that our relationship has to be over a phone and we're not seeing each other as much. And then it ended up being, oh, well, you're always on the damn phone. Well, I wonder why. But I really hope that goes well for you. Again, it's not fair. You deserve to see your partner, especially with the fact that, come on. Like, you should get to see your boyfriend. That's, I really hope that goes well for you. And, I mean, you have a job, so, like, I don't know. I don't even see, oh my god, bro. um, Let me see. Um, for real? Nah, seriously, that's fucking crazy, dude. Let's see if I can get this a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go. All right. Um, alrighty. I have another one. In 2026, I plan to make my. Then again, sort of sweet. Even if he's sweet just to you, that's fine. That's fine. One thing that I like to say, I'm like, my partner's my partner's sweet to me, a dick to everyone else, and that's fine. Because at the end of the day, the only one your partner really has to be nice to is you. And the moment that you guys have kids in the mix, then, like, if you decide to go that route, make sure they're nice to the kids. Besides that, like, shit, what else do who else do they have to really be nice to? Again, especially if the fact, like, by all means, be nice to your parents too. But if your parents are dicks, then come on. But speaking of boyfriends and partners, my life from here on out is going to be it's going to be private, not secret. And I spend a lot of my time on my personal account on Instagram, and a lot of the posts are just like, it's best to keep your life private, not secret. Like, you don't have to move and like, you don't have to fully, like, close yourself off from everyone. It's just like, to do something if you decide to do something, then, like, you know, and you don't want other people to know because obviously if they know they're going to fuck up all of your chances to do so, it's like, okay, um I would prefer to keep that to myself. Like I'm again, I'm trying to make VTubing and content creation my main job. No, no, because he has a point. He has a point. I mean, people in your life are going to sit there and be like, hey, I don't think you should do this. And then no, they'll fucking, like, they'll hide behind it and be like, oh no, it's just a suggestion. You don't have to take it. But then they keep making their point, like, very convincing. And it's just like, if it's supposed to be just a suggestion, you would just mention it and leave it alone. Like, your tone wouldn't sound so forceful to do it. Like, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. But I'm I'm more moving in, like, silence than anything because I'm trying to make this my career and I have faith that I can. It's going to take time, but I believe that I can do it, and that's all that matters. But every time I tell people, I'm like, hey, I don't really want to work anymore because, like you guys know, I'm autistic. And, like, neurodivergent individuals with jobs, it's not it's not easy for us at all. So to have a job for a neurodivergent person to have a job is like blissful, especially in this job market. Like it makes it's just like you're just like, okay, I want a job, I want to work, I want to do things for myself, but then it turns into the people that you work around are probably a bunch of neurotypicals. So I've been in and out of the fucking job market since I was 17. So a moment before my 18th birthday was when I actually started, you know, I actually started like getting in and out of jobs. My first job only really lasted me, I think, a month, a month and a half, because I ended up losing that a bit out of. Don't get me started. My job was given to me by my aunt in her business, and my mom don't know that her sister even remembers me. Damn. No, because that's how my first job started. I was given my first job by my sister. Um, and it wasn't even her business. She got me in there, and I was kind of like, I was like drilled to not lose that shit. She's like, you better not do anything. Yeah, yeah, no actual legit job will take us. Give me a moment, chat. I'm about to throw the cat. Yes, the cat indeed. Because tell me why I'm sitting here seeing him attack the fucking corner of the cat carrier because he can't really be out around like my space because I mean he's a kitten at the end of the day, I understand, but he bites cords and I cannot have him fuck up my setup because I do not have the money to fix anything over here. At least, like, I really don't. And pretty much consumption of wires, and then he'll literally attack the fan wire. He'll attack probably my case of waters because it's fucking plastic. But he'll do all that. But guess what? All of his fucking cat toys that I throw him, he gets them underneath the fucking radiator, underneath the damn dresser or just somewhere he can't get them. Yeah, no, I can't. I would cry, especially if he ate my charger right about now. Like, I'd be without my phone, and I cannot be without my phone. Like, not even any weird way. I stim with my phone in conversations, and I, yeah, mm-mm, mm-mm. But yeah, back to the whole job thing. I couldn't like I felt pressured to keep it, but at the same time, I couldn't really do much with the fact that I'm like, well, I'm doing my job and I did my job fine until like I ended up befriending one of the lifeguards that was also at my job site, and I'm pretty sure she was neurodivergent too because we kind of hit it off perfectly. But I ended up I ended up bringing my swim trunks with me to work because lifeguard, she told me, she was just like, hey, no, you can get in the pool. I'm technically in charge of the pool, so it's hot. You can get in. And I'm like, I want to get in. That, yeah, it's not even the job, it's the fucking people. Isn't that the truth? But she told me it was fine if I like got in just for a quick dip, but I'm like, I can't get in right now because I don't have any. Like the first time she told me, I'm like, I don't have any swimwear and I don't want to fuck up my work uniform. So the next day I had work, I slipped it in my bag and I brought it with me. Um, and during that whole time, because I had to make sure the people that came into the pool, because it was for an apartment complex. So the people that came into the pool, I had to make sure that they signed up and they weren't just any randos just were coming into the pool. So that would practically be trespassing. So I made sure, like, that was my job and I was doing that. And the next thing you know, I get a text from my sister saying, hey, they caught you, like, not paying attention. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean I'm not paying attention? And I looked at the picture she sent me, and it was a picture that they captured on the security camera of me with my back turned. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that was only one time that I had my back turned. So then I'm like, all right, I have to watch myself because apparently they're like on my ass right about now. So I was doing fine. I was sitting at my post. I was watching people come in. And the next thing you know, mind you, I'm only 17 at this time. I did not have a partner and I thought I was going to have one. So I saw this cute guy who was near the poolside with some of his friends and no, but that was afterwards. That was afterwards because even so, the first time they got me with my back turned, it was only conveniently when I think I was literally checking on the other side of the fucking pool deck to see. And like they kept saying some, oh, I kept leaving my post and people were coming in and I had them standing there for a while. And I'm like, no, I don't. So, like, every single time that I turned around, it seemed like they conveniently caught it and sent the picture to my sister. And then my sister's just like, how are you going to tell me that you're like, this is not you, like, not paying attention? And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm trying to tell you what actually happened in that moment. And she's like, well, I don't care what happened in the moment. I'm seeing the facts, like, based off of what they're sending me. And they're just like, if they have it happen again, they're going to remove you from that post. So eventually, they sent it to her too many times and they moved me inside. Yeah, 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 because that was my older sister. That was my older sister. So they were probably making sure. But, wait, there's more. There's more. So when they moved me inside, I'm sitting inside. It's a little bit easier to do this job because all I'm really doing is like checking packages in that come in, and then I let the tenants know like, hey, your package is down here, and then when they come down, I give them their package and they go ahead upstairs. And I have to make sure like no shady activity comes inside. So I have to watch who comes in, who doesn't. Um, and that part of the job was easy until it started getting closer to the evening time because I worked a 3 to 11 shift, sometimes 4 to 12. And when I worked that shift, it was kind of like fucking crazy with the fact that I'm like, all right, first of all, I never had like a set time to eat. So I didn't know when I could eat. But you got me working 8 hours without like a lunch break in between. I didn't have a set one, so I kind of just ate when I felt like it. And I'm sitting here bored, so every single time that I started playing like a game on my phone or just scrolling through social media, apparently they're over here watching me and saying oh, they see you on the camera with your head down. And it's just like, what? So I they're like one of the people there is just like they keep catching you with your head down and I'm like, "Oh, what am I supposed to do?" And they're just like, "Well, if you're trying to like watch a video or scroll through your stuff, there is technically a blind spot that you could put your phone." I ended up putting my phone there and I did that and it was fine. Until eventually they're just like, "Oh, I see you staring in one spot and you're not paying attention and you got people standing there asking for you." And I'm like, "Really?" Technically, I wasn't even sure if I could grab my phone. So first, before they even start saying that to me, I had my well, I didn't know if it was actually their tablet or not, but I had the tablet and I was watching stuff on it and they're just like, "Hey, no, you got to go and get him because that's not okay." So they stopped me from doing that, and I'm just like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." Um and then I started watching things on my phone instead, and then that started becoming also an issue. And someone also was telling me that I was working too slow and I didn't understand what they wanted for the packages, and I'm like, I'm sorry. So eventually they ended up moving me from that location because they got too many complaints about me. I went to another location. I don't even know what happened there because there was one location that I was at that I remember, like I could try to explain, like, I'm like, they too many people had way too many complaints and I don't even know how until they put me at a different location that was a bit farther but also not too far from where I was staying at the time. And I'm like, okay. I went over there. I remember only being there for like a day, and I don't like I was only there for one shift and I never went back. um I also was at another location closer to where I currently stay, and I didn't really like the vibe of that location. Neither did I like the people because they also complained to me because I was younger. And then eventually they just like let me go. They're just like, well, we don't want him back. So I don't. And at the time, they also got rid of my sister too. But I realized at the end of the day, me and her didn't even really like get mad at it because we found out that the main actual like property manager who manages all of those, she just personally did not like the company we were with. So she just assumed every person from that company was bad. So like yeah, we didn't even really worry about it at that time. We are just like, ah, okay. We're like, we're not even gonna bitch and complain. She just generally did not like the company in a whole. So, eh. Um, I know. But after that job, I mean, that job didn't really last me that long. It was kind of a bit tiring too, because it was fucking 3 to 11, sometimes 4 to 12. And I wouldn't get home until 12 on the clock in the morning and sometimes eating. So it was kind of annoying. After that, I landed a job at Amazon, and that job was blissful. As you guys know, Amazon does support diversity, LGBTQ people, and also neurodivergence. I was, it was, it was amazing. I loved it. like even though there was a lot of even though like getting over there, the commute time for me because of how far I was, because technically it was in a whole different city, and I don't drive. Um, I had to take public transportation over there. Yeah, I'm getting there, but um, it was fine. The only problem was that one was also time consuming, so I would literally have to wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning. That man, I did too, and it wasn't that bad. I wish I could go back personally because I love the work that I did. I love the work that I did, and I want to go back. But I think they know my IP address, and they are purposely not allowing me to see any openings. So I'm pretty sure Amazon themselves does not want me back at all. but um, but when I was at Amazon, it wasn't even that bad. Yeah, see that's similar to my experience. That's similar to my experience. So I when I was working, like there's a lot of different positions because I was doing a warehouse position. So there's a lot of different places they could put you. Um and my warehouse specifically designed like the shirts that you would normally get. So um I would like the process is you would just like, pick up the shirt, give it to the person who prints the design. Once they print the design, it goes through the fucking um I call it like a flat iron press thingy, which is practically what it is. Then it comes out the other side and then someone folds them and then they pack them. It's a simple process. And of course you can't have one person do all of that, so they had multiple people. Like they had some people on the pick out the shirts aisle and actually drop them off at certain stations, and then you had the people operate the machines, the people who grab them and then fold and then send them over to get folded. Once they got sent over and were folded, then you had people actually pack them and then put the bags to the side, and then the people would come grab the bags and then bring them to where they take them to the trucks. Why was my packaging like stuff from the companies and stuff? Oh, you did that part. Oh God, you got to see. There's someone on Instagram who I follow who I don't fully know if she works for actual Amazon or if that's just like her content or if what she sees is real, but she does that exact same thing, and she's seen some shit and she shares that content with her followers, and I'm just like, I would fucking die if I seen this. At least in the fucking shirts division, you only really see like people who do groups of shirts and sweatshirts and whatnot, or you'll see someone get a fucking like, non-binary moon phases shirt or something. So I mean, what I saw was not that bad. That yeah, 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 yeah. Nah, because a lot of the things they got tell me how like you could get a fucking sweatshirt for like $20, and like this whole fucking company gets all of the shirts the same, and then that whole order, like imagine you're getting like a 20 group order, so that's practically $400 that you're dishing out for all of those sweatshirts. Like, damn. Or the fact that you'll probably see someone ordering a fucking glass dildo off of Amazon and you're just like, ah, again. You'll just be like, yo, what the fuck am I looking at here? Problem is, you'll have to have the straightest face while packaging someone's shit. My humor would never. I'm glad when I actually worked for Amazon, I did the shirts, because if I would have done the actual, like, objects and items that people get, I would be scarred for life, okay? I would be fucking scarred. I could not imagine. But um working at Amazon was not bad. It literally was just the people in this case. My physical tolerance to stand up for long periods of time I realized was not that good. So I would be able to only stand up for probably like 2 3 hours at a time, and then I would have to sit down somewhere. So I'm like, you know, when I would try and sit down, I would sit down on the floor. Like after I finished after I finished packing my shirts, I'd sit on the floor and take a break, and they're just like, "Oh no, we can't have you sitting on the floor." So I'd get up. I tried to sit on the table because I'm like, I need to sit down. My fucking legs are hurting me, and I am nowhere near my break time. And they're just like, oh, well, you definitely can't sit on the tables. And I would try to squat down and just, rest my legs for a bit. That was an issue. So I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do? And then when I'd sit there, I'd grab my phone when I'm not doing anything. And yeah, no, I was able to stand for long periods of time, but having a practical 10-hour shift at Amazon, I couldn't do it then. That was the only time that I could not do it. Um, but I would grab my phone. Exactly. I don't know what they were expecting, but I grabbed my phone at some point and I would just go through. Eventually, they're just like, oh, you can't have your phone out while on the floor. But I'm like, I'm seeing other people on their phone. Why is it like I can't be on my phone? Or then it would turn into the factory is a little loud, and I'd grab at least one of my headphones. I'd see other people with their headphones. The moment they catch me, it's a fucking issue. Right, no, hold on. Let me just activate my universal platform and sit my ass on it. At this point, you don't want me to sit down anywhere, but you expect me to stand up. Hold on, let me just fucking levitate. But eventually, like I I know, right? At this point everything was an issue. You breathing was eventually going to be the last issue. But I could not really do much with the fact that I was literally dying. Like I was mentally dying in that fucking place until eventually I ended up finding someone else that I liked in there who was actually pretty chill. I was currently having ins and outs with my ex boyfriend at the time, so me seeing someone else was, you know. Listen, in my defense, the first thing I noticed was the fact that he had a Legend of Zelda tattoo of the Triforce, like right in the back of his ear on his neck. That. Who said that I was? Who the fuck said that I was? But he had the Triforce on his neck, and I'm just like, that looks hot. I'm like, that looks hot. I want to talk to you. You like Zelda just as much as I do. Well, probably. I'm like, so you like games. I kind of actually want to talk to you. But with my socially awkward ass, I couldn't. Little did I know, getting affiliated with that motherfucker actually cost me my job. But I wish I would have known that sooner. Like, we fucked around outside of work time, obviously, and eventually I could have sworn he ended up actually falling for me because he had a partner. He had a partner. He ended up falling for me, but he just was too in. He was in denial to actually say if he liked me more than his partner. Like, let's be honest. He was infatuated with the sex by me. Okay, what can I say? I'm just good like that. But yeah, he ended up saying that any attempt, because he ended up having a friend that also joined the job, And his friend also took a liking to me. I didn't really like him like that, but his friend was just like, "Hey, like, yeah, yeah." But he was just like, "I can bring you over to the house. I have a gaming room if you want to see it." He showed me a picture of it too, and I'm just like, "I've never seen an authentic gaming room." Technically, I've wanted to make my own, but with the fact that I'm like in the lower income class, I'm like, I couldn't do that. So the least I could do is just surround myself with multiple consoles and places where I could play games and play a lot of them. But to actually have my own game room with like plushies and cases all on the walls and amiibos and figures and posters all over, I couldn't, like, I didn't have enough money to do that. Um, so I said to him, I'm like, can I actually like come with you when we're done with the shift, and can I see the game room? And immediately the other guy went, she doesn't like all the games online. Man, I would cry. I would cry, dude. But it happens. But I ended up, I ended up, I ended up actually fucking, um, I ended up not going. I didn't see the game room because crazy obsessed bitch with me, motherfucker decided he wanted to say, no, he's over here manipulating you and trying to get you so he can figure out where I live because he just wants me and da 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 da. I'm like, motherfucker, I don't care. All you do is have good dick. I personally do not actually like you. That's literally all it was. And he took that and ran with it. He's just like, oh, well, you just want to know everything about me. Because personally, I seen him. He was chill until I realized that, I'm pretty sure he had issues too. No, probably. But the thing was, him, his partner, and the other friend were all roommates there. So they were all staying in a place, and he did not want me to ever see his partner. Technically, at the time, I was going through my like gender identity crisis. So during the time I was at Amazon, I was identifying more as gender fluid. So during my gender fluid era, I was just like, okay, I'd have some days I turn up to work like very pretty, very like feminine, and other days I'm like, I don't have time to deal with the whole femininity. I popped up masculine. The only thing I didn't have was a binder, so I looked more um, like femme mass presenting. Yeah, I had that. I had the fucking gender fluid era. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Um, but I got my taste of femininity and masculinity, and I chose the masculinity route, and I've been happy ever since. So, but we've all been there. But I didn't really have a lot of like LGBTQ friends. Well, I did, but none of them in like the gender aspect, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted ones who actually felt like, hey, I'm also having these like questionable thoughts about my gender and I'm trying to see where I fit in. Or, if I identify like this, let me just share my story and see if that can help you out a bit. So, um, technically both the guy that I was talking to plus his partner both identified as non-binary. Just one was more masculine presenting and did not care, and honestly, like he didn't care about pronouns either. At least I didn't really prioritize pronouns at that time. I now understand them, and if I don't know a pronoun, I'll just use they them for you unless directed otherwise. Um, but I wanted to speak to his partner, and I technically also wanted to speak to him because I'm like, I don't understand my gender at the moment, and I want to talk to other people who are older than me who might have it who had it figured out. He would not let me get anywhere near his partner. So they're probably in here. Mind you, they're probably moderating. Then again, they only woke up, what, an hour ago? Still technically waking up, but I'm sure they're in stream just moderating. You got a response, so yeah, they're paying attention. But yeah, at the time, I just wanted to actually figure out like what was going on. So I wanted to talk to other people who identified like under the trans umbrella, you know? So meeting two people like that at my job, I'm like, I want to talk to you, but I'm awkward as fuck to do so. Until I ended up fucking one, and I never got to talk to the other. Um, and again, when I ended up talking to the friend, the roommate to both of them, then I got accused of wanting to actually like get into his house and see where he lived. And I'm like, dude, I'm not worried about where you live. I just want to see a fucking gaming setup because I want my own. Again, I feel upset that I never got to see it. And then after that, he wanted to call me crazy and say I needed medication. So, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I did need it because even yeah, yeah, yeah. Even if I'm not like a full-fledged man, I still am a simple guy at the end of the day. I There's not much that I need to impress me. I'm sure you can relate as well, dude. The expectations are not as high. um, but yeah, eventually, I mean, I'm pretty sure I needed something with the fact that like I didn't really have like the best upbringing as like a kid and a teenager. So, and I was going through a lot of shit because like my mom wasn't exactly making things a lot easier for me when I was there, and like I was also dealing with shit with my ex-boyfriend. Um One of the children of the starved ended up, becoming popped up. Yes. Yes, it is safe to say that. I say the same fucking thing. This is one thing that I like to quote on that. Am I attracted to men? Yes. Yes, I am. Do I like men? Mm-mm. Am I attracted to them? Yes. Do I like them? No. And it's only because of, like, it's literally only because of how they act. That is what I'm not attracted to, and that is what I do not like. Besides that, I'm a guy that likes guys, so yeah. I say the same fucking thing. But, um, I ended up actually, like, along with working at Amazon, they do act like hooligans. They monkeys. Men are monkeys, and I say that happily because they're monkeys. Because, but um, I I'm like, okay. So at the time, at the time, I actually, took him up on that, and I said I can actually kind of use the help. My job was also accepting like they were also allowing us like mental health resources that we can use. I ended up getting a therapist at that time, but last I checked, if you reached out to a mental health specialist, because someone else. No, 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 no. Yes, but I mean, technically, a friend of mine, someone who I did not mind because she used to give me rides, like, from work. Um, she she was connected over to the mental health resources too. And last I checked, mental health resources, if you get connected to a professional, You got 2 weeks off to like start your medication and get yourself back ready for work. At least that's what was told to me until I reached out to someone. I got someone to help me. And then, literally, after those 2 weeks, I realized that I was fired. I was terminated for just like, walking out, no calls, no shows. And I'm like, how? I'm like, I'm like, if if you got connected with a mental health professional through the resources, they gave you 2 weeks to get yourself back together. Why was I terminated after those 2 weeks? And it was right before my personal birthday too. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, huh? So I ended up losing that one due to miscommunication. Yeah, yeah, I know. It seemed like they were just looking for a reason to get rid of me. Not to mention, I was called into the office with like HR and people like that, like before. So, um, like the person who was on the floor, like the floor manager, would call me back a lot of times and would talk to me about stuff, and I would try to explain it to her. And when I explained it to her, I got shifted to different positions. Like they eventually had me going through like the picking up the shirts line, and that was fine. I was actually slaying that. Most of the time, I was the top picker for the day. And until eventually I started talking to someone who I did not mind, who I also thought was cute, who managed the pick section. And he was also neurodivergent, and we also had a lot of funny talks until um yeah, I don't fully know what happened there, but eh. Uh, I mean, there's a sad pattern with me. It always seemed like I lost a position after speaking with someone. And after I spoke with them, then I ended up losing the position. And it wasn't even anyone bad. It's just like it seemed like that's always been a pattern for me for as long as I can remember. Um but after Amazon, I was kind of down for a good while. Yes. I love going out and socializing. But when I go out and socialize, the public is also there out and socializing. Like, why can't when I go outside, the public not be there? God, I felt that. I fucking felt that. But, I think I ended up going more locally to work someplace, and at that time when I left Amazon was when I was transitioning houses. I moved from my mom's house to my partner's house at that time, and um, I ended up working at the Dunkin' Donuts that was not too far from there, and that wasn't that bad. I was fine with it until the people. It was a family owned place. Like, not too family owned, but definitely the manager was there. And then her son also was like an assistant manager. So, you could already tell how that went. Um, but it's a fast food place. A lot of the people, again, did not like me for some fuck of a reason. And not to mention, it was really cold when I joined Dunkin'. So I don't really take too well in the cold, and I have severe sensory processing issues. So, like, when it's cold, I sometimes can't, like, I'll either feel the cold too much or I barely will feel it at all. And when I was working at Dunkin', I kind of felt that cold a little too much. And I could not just wear any jacket. I wanted to wear my jacket, but they're just like, oh no, you have to wear our jacket with the logo or you can't wear any jacket. And I'm just like, okay, well, give me the company jacket. And I wore it, and I physically gagged. It felt heavy. It was No, the material sucked, and I'm just like, I need to take this off. So I either sat there and suffered in the cold because they had me on drive-through window. I either sat there, suffered in the cold, or I would literally just say fuck you and I'd wear my own jacket, which they had an issue with because they're just like, it's covering your actual uniform shirt, and I'm like, fuck you. But yeah, what happened there? They honestly did not want to wait around for me, so my wisdom teeth were giving me a lot of issues at the beginning of 2022, I think, or 23. I don't remember. I think it was 22. No, it was 23 because fucking Instagram. No, it was my personal TikTok that reminded me um, of when, because I made a video the same day I got my wisdom teeth pulled out. Um, but in 23, I was I was working at Dunkin', but my wisdom teeth were giving me issues and making me like really sick at the time. one of my one of my duties at Dunkin' was to speak to people. How the fuck was I gonna do that when I had sore throat after sore throat and I was having nostril issues after nostril issues, and every time I tried to open my fucking mouth, it hurt. And I explained that, but they're just like, we can't really do much for you. I'm like, you could put me anywhere else besides the drive-through. Like, you could put me on drinks, you could put me on the DoorDash deliveries, like, you could put me on anything. Just, and they didn't want to train me on food yet, but that's fine. I didn't want to deal with the food personally. But I'm like, you could put me on the drinks. Like, we had two drink sections. We had delivery drink section and cashier drink section. Like, what the fuck was the issue with that? Till I'm like, all right. I told them that I was gonna need like a couple weeks off so I can actually you know, get the shit done. Um, but they weren't trying to give me the 2 weeks because they're just like, oh, we don't have anyone to cover your shift. And I'm like, all right, don't worry about the 2 weeks. What I really need is the 4 weeks afterwards, after I get my teeth pulled out. And they were just like, all right, we'll see what we can do. Tell me why the fuck they gave me the 2 weeks, and then when I actually needed the 4 weeks, they're just like, well, when are you gonna come in? And I'm like, I already told you guys I don't need the 2 weeks anymore if you can't find anyone to uh, do my shift. And they're just like, well, we gave you the 2 weeks and we worked something out, but now we kind of need you back. And I'm like, well, I got my teeth pulled out already, so unless you can have me go in and be on like drink section or some shit, then, mm, mm, one. But I'm like, unless you can get me on like a drink section or some shit, then I'm not really going to be able to work until this time is up. So I was spending all of this time waiting and seeing if they were going to put me on anything else or even put me back on the schedule till eventually my partner's stepdad was just like, yeah, they told me that they just let you go, like with with nothing said because you walked out on them. And my partner's mom said she figured that shit out too. They're just like, we already told him we're not gonna wait for him. And I'm like, well, I explained it to you guys that I didn't need the 2 weeks anymore, that I mainly needed the weeks after I got my teeth pulled out. And they decided to twist shit. So another situation of just trying to find a reason to get rid of me. Um, After Duncan, I was kind of done with the whole like. I know, I know. After Duncan, I kind of was done with all the fucking like physical jobs, but I couldn't find anything. And at that time, since I was at my partner's house, I did have to help in some way. Like, I literally just popped up there with me, my kid, and like practically no money. So that's like two extra mouths that need to be fed. and I'm not doing anything to help. So I had to be doing something. I couldn't just like do nothing. So at least that's what I was told, or else I would have to get the fuck out and go back to where I was. Um, I ended up literally, I ended up literally just finding a job at a bowling alley. And I was practically gonna be a host and like hosting the parties and shit like that because they needed host. I ended up getting that job, and it was fine until people. And problem was, it took me like a good hour and a half from home to get there. Um, and like the bus that I had to take only like, since with the fact it wasn't one of the like popular stops, like one of the stations, I had to wait practically like 30 minutes to an hour like trying to catch that fucking bus. And if I did not catch it when I got off of work at like 10 or 11, then I had to wait 30 fucking minutes again. And it was annoying. But it was the people there that had issues with me. I remember dropping food at some point. Um, and I didn't really mind it too much. Problem is, sometimes I was on the schedule, other times I wasn't. And there was a few times where I popped in and they're just like, "Hey, we have everyone already here, so you don't need to be on the schedule." And one of the managers I was cool with let me go home. He was just like, "You don't have to be here." And when I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you," I went home because if I honestly don't have to be there, I will take my ass home because it takes a lot of time for me to get over there. He was just like, "I mean, you don't have to be here, like, since we don't have any parties for you." So I'm like, "All right." But then when other people in there saw me, they're just like, "Oh, you're here? Hang on, let me go get you some parties." I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Why are you going to get me parties? I was literally just told I can go home." So if I'm giving a chance to go home, respectfully, if I don't have to be there, then I'm not going to be there. If I'm set to work, then I'm coming into work. And then there was an annoying like tip system that they had. Like at some point, we weren't allowed to accept tips from people. Now me, my customer service is immaculate. I can flip the switch and be nice to people, even if I really want to bash their head in the fucking wall next to me. So I'm like, I'm able to sit there and fake a smile, fake a laugh, and fake the hospitality just to get my work done. And in doing so, when I was working as like the party host, I was able to make tips of like $60, $80, or maybe $20 here and there. That money adds up. And I barely had that many days. So I'm like, if that money is given to me, I'm taking it. They were trying to have the party hosts literally split the tips with the fucking servers who, mind you, were barely doing their work. But we had to give the servers the tip money, and we as the party hosts were not able to accept it, even though us as the party hosts was doing the job of the servers. Make that make sense. Exactly. Make that shit make sense. And there was a few times no, see, that's what I'm saying. Because I was working this one party, and I think that's where I got the $80 tip. I think it was a birthday party. And mind you, at the place that I was at, it's expensive to book a package there. I used to see packages for like 300, 400, $500. People were spending for their kids to have bowling parties. And there was groups of kids that was there. And like these people literally do not care. They're just like, I care about my kids more than anything. You're you're exactly. I I practically was the one who was giving the food out. I was the one who was taking orders and being nice, and you're telling me I don't get the tip? I literally had to tell certain people, they tried to give me the tip specifically, not even the server. They tried to give it to me. And I tried to tell them, I'm like, I would love to take the tip and I'm more than grateful, but sadly, I'm not allowed to do so. And these people insisted. I'm like, if these people are insisting me to take the money, I'm not gonna take it because that's gonna make me feel bad. So I literally had someone. I literally was just like, I would love to take the tip, but I sadly cannot. But you're more than welcome to give the tip to the server. I had someone straight up tell me no. They're just like, why would I give it to the server if you're the one helping me? And I'm like, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I did not understand that either. So a few times when the party members, like when the parents of the party members gave me a tip, I would take it. Especially even after they were just like, well, you can't take the tips that they give you. I'm like, well, if you're going to practically shove the money in my face and I'm sitting here barely making $200, working like 3, 4 days a week, yeah, yeah, I'm taking that money. After that, I don't remember the last job I had after that. It's kind of a blur to me. But then I switched to a remote job that I was busting my ass to get because I couldn't do it with the physical jobs anymore. So I just stopped. I told myself that whenever I get another physical job, I'm practically at this point where I literally cannot. And literally after I had my whole wisdom teeth extraction was the same time that I had my autism evaluation and I was diagnosed with autism. So everything in my life prior to that made sense. So um, it was fucking crazy, but everything made sense. And I vowed to myself, I'm like, I don't think I could work another physical job because no one understands how I function, and no one's going to. So I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not trying to like not have money. I would love to make money, but I'm fucking up my work history by it only showing me working at places for 3 to 5 months. Literally, the job that I just got out of before I fully primarily started streaming. For all of my stars that have been there, like pre debut to when I had my PNG model, those are the stars that know the hell that I had to go through. All of my streams would be hosted at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, because I would be spending 9 o'clock to 5 in a job setting. And then I would immediately hop on over here. I would immediately hop on over here. I would only spend an hour to recollect myself in order to stream and do something I wanted to do. And that was becoming too much on me. Again, I would stay up from 9 o'clock practically to 12 a.m. because that's how long my streams went. They were 3, 4, 5 hours. So my streams would go from like 7 to 12 or 6 to 11 or fucking like 8 to 2 in the morning. And that's why I was so tired and I had to leave my job because I'm like I really want to stream. I prefer streaming than doing whatever the fuck this is, and not to mention like a lot of things were going on in the job that I couldn't keep up with. Not to mention my disability wasn't really making it easier for me to actually be able to keep up with it wasn't really allowing me to keep up with all the fucking changes and whatnot. Not to mention, like, it seemed like every single fucking it seemed like every single addition that HR decided to like pull out of their ass, it ended up conflicting with whatever the fuck I did. So I just left. I personally just left. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit anymore. And yes, it sucks with the fact that I'm barely making it. And currently, right now, me and my partner, we don't really have a lot of money. So, like me and Amethyst, we don't have a lot of money. So we're making do with what we have. Um, but I the longest job I had was the recent job that I got out of, and that job lasted me a year. So I know people are going to look at my work history and question with the fact that I've only stayed at places for like 3 months, 5 months, 1 month, a day, and then one for like a whole year. Until I explained to them that the only reason that I had that job for a year was because of work accommodations. Like, if it wasn't for work accommodations and my team actually, like, understanding where I was coming from with a lot of things, I wouldn't have been able to keep that job for as long as I did. So, I mean, I'm grateful for the last 5 years that I've had in job settings, but I think I'm done with that, and I personally don't want to go through that again. It took way too much of a toll on my mental, way too much, like, of everything. But, yeah, um, yeah, I'm cool off that, respectfully. Um, we can always come back to story time. I know there's going to be a lot of clips from that. Um, but I think it's good for us to switch over now to laying down ground rules of 2026. What y'all think? Think we're good to switch over now and then head back over to the story times? Alrighty, let's go. Let's go. Alright, so, um, let's see if I can get my current rules up here. Because I do got some chat rules. Let me see if I can pull them up. Alrighty. Do, 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 do. Let me see. Okay. Okay, that's those. Alright. Alrighty, so these are my social links. Okay, brand. I gotta get a proper offline fucking thing too. Alright. Okay, Alrighty. So let me see if I could. Because I do have the rules. It's for everyone that pops up when they first see my chat. So let me see if I can find something. Okay. Moderation. Okay. Uh, when I can't follow directions properly. Mm-mm-mm. Work noises. It's not what I need. Attempting noises, pretty much. Uh, man, see, they're not even showing me what I need to see here. Let me see here. Ugh, man. Why the fuck are you not showing me what I need to see? Okay, but I don't remember where my rules are, but I'm about to see if I can pull them up just by actually like hopping in chat. So let me get chat up here. Mm. What the fuck? Okay, switch to none. Okay, here we go. All right, I managed to get them up. So I got them up now. All right. My rules that I had before is to not spam chat. So I'm gonna get this written down because technically I want to rewrite my rules. I want to rewrite them because fuck that. I need to rewrite my rules. It's a new year, so let's go in here. All right. So my previous rules is to not spam chat, limit three emojis, well, three emotes, three emotes emojis. Don't give a fuck. However you. I prefer emojis though, because I love spamming emojis, but three's enough. Sometimes I'll say, nah, go ahead and spam as many as you want, like yesterday. Um, Please do not ask me to use a code of a friend's. 9 times out of 10, that code is a code that is probably going to fuck me over. When I get those types of messages don't even pop up because those are scam messages. I used to get those a lot starting off. Um, I'm always open to recommendations and game suggestions. You guys know that. And of course, my big one, be nice to everyone and have fun. So, those are my those are my rules. Can I actually download it now? Oh god. Oh, broken? I've also been having issues trying to get the fucking VOD from. Like, I keep trying to get the fucking VOD from yesterday up, but for some reason, like, the actual thing of it is corrupted for some fuck of a reason. So I think I'm about to. What I'm about to do, because as you guys know, yesterday everything popped up weirdly. Like, I had everything up, but my model was not trying to come up. So I was just like, fuck that. Um, and when I did that, it kind of, like, really annoyed the living fuck out of me. So I, I kind of just got pissed off at it. Um, I didn't really fully get pissed at it. I just was a little bit irked with the fact that I was trying to, like, pull up my model and it was not pulling up. So I had to restart my whole ass computer midstream, and that threw us off severely. Um, and when I did that, it took the time that the stream was starting, and it had the start of it, and then the actual stream itself from when we started to when we ended actually stayed. So, um, yeah, that was annoying. And now the VOD keeps not trying to come up, so I don't know what to do. And a big, that's a big fucking, um, it's a really big file. Fucking 13 gigs for some fuck of a reason, so. But beside that, we have our rules. I got them on the other side of my screen, so we're gonna we're gonna make some rules, and then I'll figure out a way to update these at a time. So, um, what would we like to see for some rules? Again, I am a small VTuber and content creator. What do we want to see? What do we want to see? Because I want to update my rules and, like, expand them a bit. I want to definitely, because again, like I said yesterday, I am treating this like a job. Again, I may be a small VTuber and I'm a small content creator now with not that many followers or anything, but treat me like you would those who have hundreds of thousands of followers. Treat those whose chats are flooding. Treat mine like you would those who, you know, I ask for the same respect as all. So, I'm still gonna keep my limit 3. If you see my hotkeys go off, just ignore them. Okay. So, first one, limit 3 emojis in chat unless stated otherwise. Um, hmm. Backseating. I see a lot of VTubers at this. Please do not. You're fine. You're fine. Honestly, unless stated otherwise, if, like, for example, yesterday, When I told you to spam it, I literally said spam the clappings, and everyone understood the assignment. So, um, that was fine. That was an exception. That's stated otherwise. But other than that, you've been fine. You've been fine with that rule. Everyone's been fine with the rule. I've seen that rule actually be respected, so that's good. Um, no back seating. I play the game how I play the game. If you see me playing the game in a different way, like for example, if I'm playing doors and you see me fucking like you see me go through a door and I don't loot up all the places, don't say, "Hey Xanas, go back and loot." No. Or don't say, "Hey Xanas, go back and grab that." No. By all means, you're able to help me out with the game. Like, for example, I did have someone in chat last night who made a note of the code for door 50 for me. I was fine with that. I was fine with that. Um, that actually really helped me out a lot. Because usually I'm looking at the paper 4 or 5 times before I actually type it in. So I appreciate, like, making notes of certain things. Like if I'm doing a puzzle, let's say I'm playing Genshin, I'm doing a puzzle and I forgot which way I went. If you remember which way I went, remind me. Be like, "Hey, I was paying attention when you were playing the puzzle." Like if I call out the chat and I'm like, "Chat, do you guys remember which way I went?" Be like, "You started off going that way, or you started off going that way, or you went straight." Just let me know, and I'll be like, "Ah, thank you." Or, "Do you guys remember like the first number that I looked at?" Something like that. All right. So that 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 rule is called no backseating. Only assist if axed. Okay. This one. I mention this one a lot. Please do not mention other VTubers, content creators, or streamers unless I bring them up. I do reference a lot of people, but I try not to name any. Um, I do know that I make a lot of references to things, but I don't put names into it. Like, I quote a lot of people a lot. Like, for example, if I'm talking about FNAF 4, I am a fan of Markiplier. If you hear me quote, "Was that the bite of 87?" If you know, you know. But if I don't mention him, don't bring it up. Or if I'm doing something that another VTuber does, please do not mention them. A lot of our contents are going to be similar because we all kind of do the same thing, but at the same time we're all different people, so our content's not all going to be the same. So that's one I'm going to add. Please refrain from speaking about other VTubers, content creators, and streamers without me bringing them up first. There we go. Again, if I bring them up first, then that's fine. Like, for example, I don't care if you bring up Amethyst. Honestly, Amethyst is the only content creator that I don't care. Yeah. Yeah. It can mean that you know each other IRL and you don't want to do that. Again, Amethyst, I don't mind if you bring them up. Everyone will make the correlation that we live together, we're in partnership. I don't care. Yeah, that hoe always in the back. Yeah. Yeah, they always in the back. But yeah, I don't mind Amethyst. Because again, I do everything with Amethyst. I collab with them, I stream with them. They stay in the background of my streams a lot. I don't mind. Amethyst is the only streamer that you can bring up in my chats, like out of nowhere. Oh, speak of the devil. They heard you say that hell always in the back. They had something to say about that. That's hilarious. They went, "Eh." That's fucking hilarious. Um, but yeah, Amethyst I don't mind. Amethyst I don't mind. That's the only streamer you can bring up in my chat out of nowhere, and I'll let you know if they're joining. If not, if they're, I'm pretty sure they also don't mind if you bring them up, so that's fine. But anyone else, unless I bring them up, then no. It's out of respect for the streamer and the content creator and the VTuber. So, um, like, yeah. For example, I do reference my Oshi a lot. I won't put his name into it, but if you've seen my Q&A, you do know um, who my inspiration is and who technically started me on my journey 3 years ago. Um, that yeah, yeah, that's my coworker according to debut. Yes. um, technically, we do have another project pending on actually getting like the debut video to you guys. I don't know how long that's gonna take personally. Um, because animating that shit takes forever. I don't know anyone who would be willing to animate it without it being like crazy expensive. And I would love to use my old animation ways, which would be through like Gotcha Club and shit like that. But those are very time consuming, and I don't really have time at the moment. So that's a project. Yeah, I can't draw. That's why I use Gotcha Club. But I can design the fuck out of a character, and I know how to use it. Technically, before I started VTubing, I did have a personal YouTube account. I still do, and I did I did used to make gotcha skits. So yeah, you're right. Speaking of that, the great meme resets finally all over Instagram now. Even Gen Alpha is starting to get on the fucking ball with that. They're just like, I saw one video that's just like, "Mom, you can't say that," and she's just like, "What do you mean? You say it all the time." Talking about 6'7", and he was just like, "The great meme reset just happened. You can't say that anymore," and I was so proud, bro. But yeah, 2026 is now 2016. Like it's not 2026 anymore. It's 2016. I love it. It literally the great meme reset and bringing 2016 back to 2026 is Gen Z's dream. You and Amethyst said the same thing. I could finally scroll in peace where I'm not seeing. See, they just said it. Just me too. You can literally scroll in peace and not have to cringe. Like it's cringe, but at least it's our cringe. Like it's the cringe we grew up on. But yeah, please refrain from speaking about other VTubers, content creators, and streamers without me bringing them up first. Like if in the near future, um, let's say if I have a VTuber friend of mine who pops up in my chat, for example, Coyote. Coyote is a good friend of mine. I love her. She popped up on debut. If she ever pops up in chat, feel free to bring up Coyote the moment I recognize her. If I see it in chat and I see it, that's fine. I will see you guys like call her out if need be. I will get there. But, if you guys are saying like hi to the VTuber in chat, that's fine. But if a conversation peaks up and it's just like, hey, X, Y, and Z person did this, that, and the third, or if I'm talking about something completely different, and you bring up someone, I will give it back.
It's no. That's
Oh,
yours.
oh, it is?
Yeah. I
Oh,
did something different. I'm happy I did.
oh,
If you haven't eaten, you have not.
oh,
Goodbye.
okay. Goodbye.
Fuck you and your cat.
Man, also, oh, this is good. Amethyst randomly brought me a smoothie with oats in it, and it tastes amazing. I thought they were giving me some of theirs to take a sip out of, but apparently that's mine, and it tastes amazing. Um, but yeah, like for example, if I'm playing Breath of the Wild and then you immediately bring up like someone else who have played the game, there's a possibility that you might be like put on like a small chat ban, like a mini chat ban by one of the mods because that's breaking a rule. Like if I didn't bring up the VTuber and you just brought it up, then like you'll just have like a mini like 5 minute timeout as like a warning, like hey, you violated this rule, try not to do that. And if you do it again, then you know. But yeah, just please refrain from speaking about other VTubers, content creators, and streamers without me bringing them up first. So if I'm talking about, let's say if I'm talking about Shoto, for example, like I really like his content and shit like that. The moment I bring up Shoto, if you have anything else that you want to share about him that's safe in my chat, by all means. And that's another thing. We only say safe things, or nice things about other VTubers. If I bring one up, don't start saying like how much you don't like their content or like my content's better than theirs or something. Don't do that. We be nice to our fellow VTuber brothers and sisters. We know do that.
I'm starved.
Oh Lord.
Child will start running and say, "Can I do horses in the stable?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "No, you know what? Go
Hmm.
ahead." And she just start doing it. And I'm like, "If that's what you want to do in the hallway, go ahead." And I just hear her walk away. Horses in the stable.
What the hell?
I'm concerned.
The children of the star about to make me wring their
They're being
necks.
the children of the crack right now.
um, let me see which other ones. Um, yes, we be nice to people.
Your shoes are good.
Um, okay. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I haven't had the bots pop in like the bot followers that go, "Hey, I really like your content. This is my Discord. This, that, and the third." I haven't had those pop up in a
I
while.
still think you should lay down the rules that if you're an artist or you're a butt, don't fucking ask if I want anything done. That's not what my chat's for.
You right. You're right. I don't want that to fully be a rule though.
I feel like it
But
should be because, like, you want to do that, that's what X is for. Or that's what the Discord is going to be for.
not even. I mean, if you wanna make art of me, then just make
I was
it.
about to say, literally, just make it.
Like you
And that's
don't
what X is for. You got your tag for a whole
you
week.
don't have to ask me to make fan art. I'd even honestly, I haven't gotten any fan art yet.
And no, I'm not gonna pay for it because it's fan art for a reason.
Mhm.
I watched your model have a heart attack.
That's fine. Oh, it's still having a
It
heart
broke.
attack.
I'm so sorry. That's not funny.
Hang on, I gotta fix that. Oh, uh
I'm awake. This shit fills me out. Pause.
oh,
What the hell? Where your face
okay.
at? Yeah. And then yeah, put the camera in front of you.
My shit's having a bit of issues. It having issues. Is it better? Yep.
There
Okay,
you
there we go.
go.
Okay. I don't know what happened. My shit kind of just stuck in one place, and the calibration wasn't even picking up that the camera was on. So yeah. Um. But yeah. Amethyst makes. I did delete. I went. Ah. Wait.
Fuck.
Ah. All right. Amethyst makes a good point there, though. Um, for my artist, yeah, you could clip that. That's fine. That's fine.
Fuck.
um, Amethyst makes a good point. For my artist, please don't hop in chat asking, if I need any art or anything like that. That's what my art tags are for. That is what my art tags are for. If I need something, I'll commission it in the appropriate places. But I'm not going to just be asking any of you to commission art. Like, respectfully, bots are floating around. Again, I don't have a lot of followers. I have under 200 followers on X. So my account is prone. I don't get them as much anymore, but I still see them pop up. So I have a video on TikTok where I had a story time. I was just honestly recording stuff, and I had a story time with the fact that I got scammed by someone because they popped up to me, and that's $350 I will never get back.
One of the suckiest
So,
part about that shit, I have my art on my page because I do art too. And I hated that every few seconds I got a random bot hopping up on my Instagram DMs being like, "Oh, I could commission this for you, or you want to do a collab?" And I'm like, I can tell you all the same person running running a million accounts
mm,
because it got the same people on the damn pages, and it'd be pissing me off. And they be thinking that putting IRL pictures on their account is gonna change it.
mm,
So that's why that shit not allowed in chat. That I take that personally.
yeah, yeah. All right, let's get that in there. Artist, no axing for commissions in chat. That is what X is for. Yeah, I mean, again, I have an art tag. If you wanna if you wanna draw something for me, I will gladly check my art tag and see if there is a banner that you drew for me, if there is a logo, if there's anything like that. If you just want to fuck around and say, "Hey, Xanis, I made this for you," I will check it and consider it. Honestly, I do need more profile pictures
I might
for all of my cross platforms.
I might purposely just make fan art just so I can start a riot in there.
Oh my god. No Xing for commissions in chat. That is what X is for. Yeah, artists. Yeah, that's specifically for the artist though. Uh,
My stomach is falling out. I'm happy.
okay. We have to get some more room in there. All right. Oh, those are 44s. Okay. All right.
Tell me I'm bored. I fear we're missing someone.
They weren't working. They're awake. I think they're just in their room.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing the third idiot?
Um, let me see. Hmm. Ah, I don't know how exactly I'm going to word this, but I will figure it out. One thing I do want to mention when I am playing a game, I did mention this yesterday before I ended stream. When I'm playing a game and you ask me a question, questions, I don't mind. I love activity in chat. I interact with chat a lot. Um, but if I am currently playing the game and I do not immediately get to your question, please do not spam for me to answer your question. I will get to it. That's why we use the highlight method. And also, do not abuse the highlight method. Like, if I don't see it the first time, I will, like, after I get to a safe point and I start talking, you can pop in chat and say, hey, Xanis, I asked you a question. And I'll be like, oh shit, you did? Hold on, let me go and look at it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, questions are appreciated, but please do not spam chat for me to answer them. Highlight the message or remind me when I get to a safe point. There we go. Well, honestly, I do want to have I do want to do moderator applications again because technically I did do them on X, and I'm like, hey, anyone who was a previous moderator, let me know who you were a moderator for, how long, even if it's just for a little bit. I needed moderators, and I knew I was gonna need some, like in general. I do have Amethyst and I do have myself, but I was thinking I can have one more. So I'm seeing how consistent certain people are, and if you make it to every one of my streams, possibly, I could see if I could gift you with moderator. So that is something we can see in the future. Well, get on the ball with that, because I do have one more moderator position open, and I would give it to Natalia, but it seems like Natalia's here, but they're not. And I
They're
had,
just a tad bit slow.
yeah,
It's not their fault. They're just a tad bit slow.
and technically, Coyote has her partner that also does streaming. I was gonna have either Coyote or her do it, but I mean, Coyote does have things to do in her personal life, and so does the other one. So, those are hit or misses too. And they're not able to always make it to every single one of my streams because, schedules conflict. So,
And that's because I'm practically your shadow.
and that's fine because I am yours as well. Also, Chad, every time you see my model have an aneurysm, I'm taking a sip of my drinks. I had hot chocolate first, and I noticed I was having small, like, model aneurysms. Now every single one is the smoothie. And it had the same aneurysm it did before. I'm fucking crying.
All because you just try to drink your smoothie.
I had to delete
That
again.
tells me it's good.
Yes, yes, it is.
I'm almost done with mine. I actually feel like I ate something. I'm totally doing that again later.
There we go.
Except I'm soaking them in just
Not to
smoothie.
mention, my camera's having a fucking hernia with the fact that. What?
Whoops.
Uh oh.
You're gonna enjoy that smoothie later.
Yeah,
That has ice cream and milk in it.
okay.
What? Not again!
Okay. Man, I look like I'd be going to sleep more than anything. Just,
You be going.
man, I don't know if Natalia fucking um clean the straw because there was a straw from the last smoothie. I could just use that and then it wouldn't keep fucking up my camera.
What, the cup and the straw?
Yeah.
Turn around?
Oh, you have it?
Yeah.
Well, when you're done, give me it.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, that last rule. Questions are appreciated, but please do not spam chat for me to answer them. Highlight the message or remind me when I get to a safe point. Um, damn, is it that good?
Mm-hmm. Here you go. I was just trying to get the straw for you.
Man,
Touched it.
eh.
Pretend like I didn't see that. My whole salted screenshot. I have
See, that's better. I could take a sip in peace. I didn't delete that time. Well, more like the cup didn't knock me out. um,
Yay.
let me
I'm
see.
eating now. Damn, I actually feel like I ate a lot. And it's just a smoothie. Well, technically it's a milkshake. It's technically a milkshake.
Um, hmm. I don't think it's a full rule, but I do know a lot of people watch my VODs, so one thing I do want to mention, I know that I am a small VTuber. Please do not ask me to play a bunch of stuff with you guys. Again, I'm treating this like my mindset is the fact that I have a number on my viewer count that I cannot read right now. Or at least I have 100 viewers in here and people are booming in chat. That's where my mindset is. So, yeah, no, not to a lot of people, but I am making this known. Please do not ask me if you can play because I will have set streams with that. Like, and please do not get mad or butthurt when I tell you no because I don't mean to say it in a rude way or anything like that, but it's just like honestly, VTubers will have it in their stream names.
I'm not gonna say the actual word, but you don't want a bunch of YNs playing with you suddenly.
Right? Right? But like in again yesterday's chat, but like a lot of VTubers will have it in their stream name. For example, my stream name right about now is couldn't help it to be racist. That's crazy. But yeah, no, a lot of people will have their stream names be something. My stream name, New Year's resolutions. That's what we're doing today.
Boring.
That's what we're doing today. I let you guys know what we're playing, what I want my title to be, and who I am. If I'm doing like a collab, I'll let you know in the title. I don't add because I don't have a lot of space to say like what it is. But I'll put it like in the title if I'm doing a collab or I'll make it known in like the first few minutes of the stream. I'll be like, "Hey, we got a collab going on. Everyone introduce yourselves. Let them know how you want to be addressed in the stream."
Yeah, I still can't wait for that
Um
Among Us collab to be my favorite. We need to revisit that.
I would love to. I would love to. But yeah, it's like I don't got a problem with that. I don't got a problem playing with viewers. Again, I would play golf with friends with everyone. I'd play Among Us with viewers. I'd play Roblox with viewers. I'd do a lot with you guys. I have no problems doing so. Um,
We just gotta be on the
just
specific stream.
appropriate streams. So, like, if the stream is not appropriate and you come in stream saying, "Hey, can I play with you?" I am going to tell you no. If you pop in one, like I respect my recent follower to death, but if you come into chat saying some, can I play this with you just because I don't have a lot of viewers, I find that a bit disrespectful. Yeah, if you X again, Amy will ban you. Simple.
Wait, what about me? Is this every time I put my phone down? Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if the stream will say if I'm playing with viewers or not. You will see my setup if you know if I'm playing with you guys or not. Again, the people who created Among Us know that people stream Among Us. And a lot of the people who do it have to literally pull up banners or like overlay images to make sure that their viewers do not copy it and just randomly pop in. So there is literally a streamer mode added to Among Us. So it's stuff
I
like
love
that
that.
that's beautiful. I
I
do
love
too.
that.
I do too.
I can't believe they did that.
I love that they did that, and that makes Among Us with viewers like a hell of a lot easier.
So much more fun.
But yeah, I feel like that's not too much of a rule. Um, just something I want to mention. Like, please do not. I know, right? Just please do not like ask me to play. Honestly, just if it's a stream for viewers to play with me, you'll definitely see it. You'll peep the setup. You'll see that I'm playing with other people. Because every time I play with people, it's people I actually know IRL, like Natalia, or people that I generally actually collab with, like Amethyst. Like, I know Amethyst IRL, but I also treat Amethyst like a coworker to me and an actual collab partner, even if we're right next to each other.
What?
We try to do this as like legit as we can.
What?
Ames will literally go to another fucking room of the house to make this so we don't have overlapping audio.
Audio, yeah. And sometimes I'll call him off of Discord so you guys could actually hear me.
Hmm.
Until we get a microphone. Until we get separate
Until then,
microphones. Because when we
which
get
we're
some
working on it.
microphones, we can have separate microphones. I don't know how we're gonna fucking do that. I guess I'm gonna have to get a chair. Then I don't know how I'm gonna play, but we'll fucking figure it out.
I'm gonna say you're pretty loud, but even so, you would need more of a model.
I think I'm gonna need to go to another room still.
I mean, even if not really,
The only
because
reason why I haven't been streaming is because I don't have a microphone, and my computer does not have a working microphone either. That shit sounds like ass. Natalia?
Natalia came on,
It's all
came in here on
smoke,
some shit.
smoke them up.
Hoy. Um,
Star and friends.
um, but yeah, if I'm, chat said hello. Um, but yeah, I just want to mention that I got no problems with playing with you guys, just as long as it's at appropriate times. Like if the stream says Among Us with viewers, I'm playing with you guys, and like I'll let you guys hop in. We'll play a few rounds. Obviously, I'm not really gonna do any of those anytime soon because I don't have a lot of people. But once I get at least like 10 consistent viewers that always regularly pop up to stream, then I'll schedule one. Like I'm seeing how everything goes right now. Um, but yeah, that's something I do wanna mention in general. Um, oh, not a rule. Something that I also just want to mention. I am very sarcastic. I'm sure you guys know that.
Nah, he's a
Um,
bitch. He definitely is a bitch.
I am very sarcastic. One thing that I'll do, I will like last stream I was contemplating on what the fuck I was gonna eat, and I'm just like, if stars would be so kind as to send me something so I could get something, I don't want to pressure you guys into like feeling like you have to give me your money. I know how rough it is. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm just like half of you, broke as shit right now. Um, I ain't got no problem. Like if you guys don't send me anything,
Same.
I encourage you guys to sub, but I know that subscribing is probably gonna take like as much as you're probably paying for your fucking Netflix right now. But I encourage it because I like for us to get somewhere. Um, but I don't want you guys to take the sarcasm to heart and feel like, you'll feel bad if I don't get something. Honestly, I got all that I need. I just went food shopping, so personally, I just gotta actually turn my fucking brain on. If I got a little something in cash, but 9 times out of 10, I'll probably already fucking order it. Um, but yeah, don't worry about it and don't take it to heart. Um, I don't want to I don't want to turn anyone away just by, the fact that I'd be like, "Oh, I would love it if people would subscribe or I'd love it if someone gets me this." Yeah, again, we all have things that we wish, we all have things that we really want to happen, but we got to keep the reality and everything. So, it's like we would like it to, but it can't, and it's okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to also make that clear as well. By all means, still, if you like the content, follow. If you really like the content and you want to stick with me as a loyal star, subscribe. I'm I appreciate that. Actually, I would probably start doing flips and cartwheels if I get my first real subscriber who actually like, after I complete the affiliate program. Um I know. I know. Um, I don't think I can have subscribers. I don't think I can have subscribers yet until I reach affiliate. So honestly,
Yeah,
showing. Mm
you can.
mm.
It pops up at the top.
Oh, it lets you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Through the
surprised.
viewers, through the viewers page, you can see it.
Ah.
I figured that out. Like I think yesterday or the time before you were streaming.
Mm.
It's a
I never
bright
knew
ass
that.
purple button.
Ah. I guess I just won't fully be able to get that revenue until the affiliates program.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Dude, imagine utilities and everything ranging almost to 580 a month.
Dang.
That's fucking crazy. And also 300 a month on like actual income in general. I could imagine. I could imagine. I've been there. I've fucking been there, dude. Again, fucking party host at the bowling alley was like 200 a month. Eh, I mean, in my opinion, the job market is kind of shit these days. Honestly, with what you have, do something on the side. Like a lot of people are making more money by like using their creative mind. Even if it's like, if you I don't know, yeah, if you find something that you can make, repurpose it or, just Gen Z is going to be the generation that overturns the job market. That's why a lot of the boomers, the Gen X, they're still stuck in the job market because they already secured their spots. That's why there's not enough room for us. So that's why we're making our own jobs. But there's a lot of things that you could do. You just gotta actually put your mind to it. So just keep working that mind. um, I don't know if there's anything else that I can mention or need to mention. Um, but everything we got so far, uh, the limit is 3 emojis in chat unless stated otherwise. No backseating, only assist me in the game if axed. Um, you're welcome. Please refrain from speaking about other VTubers, content creators, and streamers without me bringing them up first. Always be nice. Obviously, that's not a rule, but I feel like that's common sense. My artists specifically, no axing for commissions in chat. That is what X is for. Feel free to use my art tag. Um, and if you want to draw art about me, just draw it. Personally, I don't understand why I have to commission someone for fan art. If fan art is fan, it's fan. I would appreciate the stick figure.
What?
I would appreciate the stick figure. That's something.
It's actually would be cool to
Like,
see that.
it would be adorable. You'll be surprised. I might
And it
do.
can fit in your room actually too. Like,
I
just
might.
a little picture.
I'm gonna say if you make a stick
Put
figure,
it in the room.
I
I'll
will.
hang it
I
up
will
all
put it in
over.
a room with a fucking piece of tape, or hell, I'll put your stick figure. I'll remove the background, and I'll put that shit on my next streaming schedule, and I'll even give you the credit. That's how much I appreciate fan art. Anything is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Dude, like shit, man. I don't I
Watching this chat is hilarious.
I appreciate art.
Figure we
Like
should
I don't
make a
care.
room like that. Hold on, we'll make a hang the stick figure. No. I'm gonna make a Xana's a mini fridge somewhere in the room, and then I'm gonna stick the stick figure picture on it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Um yeah, no asking for commissions in chat. Personally, no commissions at all. That's what X is for. But honestly, my commissions, I will go to the appropriate places to get them. Etsy, VGen, if I need it, I'll get it. I am not accepting any commissions over DMs. I'm not trying to get scammed again. Mm-mm.
Not
Um,
$350 you can't get back.
yeah.
Uh-uh.
Um, and lastly, questions are appreciated, but please do not spam the chat for me to answer them. You can use your bits, highlight the message, or just remind me when I get to a safe point in a game or a stream. Like if I'm playing doors and I'm actively going through a run, like if I die, that's the best time to ask me. Like once the run is done, even if I'm spectating Amethyst, Natalia, or whoever else I'm playing with, that's fine. Like you can ask me as long as I'm not actively focusing. Yeah, yeah. I'm saying that Omori stream definitely like opened my eyes to a lot of things. I'm like, this is what people could do. So I'm like, I just got to make sure I put the appropriate boundaries and rules and just like, okay, we're not doing this. Um, and I don't think I have any other ones. If I have any other ones, I will let you guys know. Um, I don't think there's any other points. Personally, I would love to continue with this stream, but I streamed like 3 times in a row this week. I have the worst fucking migraine, so I think I'm gonna go rest. Thank you to everyone that popped up. Again, for everyone that looks at the VODs, my VOD squad, please don't take any of like my words to heart. I'm just making sure that we are, taking this journey seriously. Again, this year it's gonna be Hellfire year, okay? And by the end of the year, when we're back at my birthday again, we're gonna have a lot more people than we started with. So I just gotta make sure that I'm keeping myself safe and my stars safe, and that's all, and my collab partners. That's all I'm worried about. And in order to do that, we gotta have our rules. So, um, I will see you guys in the next stream. Um, I am working on the schedule as we speak. I just gotta remind myself to post it on everything. I'll post it on X. I'll post it on my TikTok story. I'll post it on YouTube as well. I love you guys. See you in the next stream. I'm gonna go rest.
What?
Bye.